Today, we are going to talk about the Mars Rovers. There have been a total of 5 Mars rovers that were sent to Mars by NASA. However, only 2 of them are still in commission. Now, let's talk about each of the Mars rovers separately. The first Mars rover was the Sojourner. It launched on December 4, 1996, on a Delta II rocket, and it landed on Mars on July 4, 1997. The Sojourner rover was quite small. It had a length of 65 centimeters and a mass of 10.6 kilograms. The Sojourner rover analyzed the Martian rocks and discovered a higher concentration of silica than what was previously thought. It also found evidence for ancient water that was located on Mars's surface. However, the Sojourner rover lost contact and was decommissioned on the 27th of September 1997 after spending 83 days on Mars. The next Mars rover was the Spirit. It launched on June 10, 2003 on a Delta II rocket. It landed on Mars on January 4, 2004. The Spirit rover discovered Martian rocks that are very rich in magnesium and iron carbonates, which provides further evidence that Mars once had liquid water on its surface. However, the Spirit rover lost contact and was decommissioned on the 22nd of March 2010 after traveling a total distance of 7.73 kilometers. The third Mars rover was the Opportunity rover. It launched on July 8, 2003 on a Delta II Heavy rocket. It landed on Mars on January 24, 2004. Opportunity found clay minerals on Mars's surface that may have formed in neutral pH water. The Sojourner, the Spirit, and the Opportunity rovers used a giant system of airbags to cushion the impact upon landing. However, on the 10th of June 2018, Opportunity lost contact due to a dust storm, and it was retired. The fourth Mars rover is Curiosity. It launched on November 26, 2011, on an Atlas V rocket. It landed on Mars on August 5, 2012. Curiosity found evidence of organic molecules preserved in ancient Martian rocks. It also discovered that the percentage of methane in Mars's atmosphere varies with the seasons. Although one of Curiosity's 6 wheels has been damaged, as of the release date of this video, it is still operational and has not been retired yet. And finally, the Perseverance rover. It launched on July 30, 2020 on an Atlas V rocket. It landed on Mars on February 18, 2021. The Perseverance and Curiosity rovers used a supersonic parachute to slow down their descent through Mars's thin atmosphere. They also used a technique known as a sky crane to safely touch down on the Martian surface. The Perseverance rover carried an aircraft known as the Ingenuity helicopter, which was the first aircraft to fly on Mars. However, on January 18, 2024, Ingenuity had a hard landing and broke one of its rotor blades, and lost its ability to fly, after a total of 72 flights. Perseverance discovered what is known as leopard spots on Mars, which might be evidence for ancient microbial life. As of the release date of this video, the Perseverance rover is still fully operational and has not been retired yet. There was also a Mars rover known as the Zhurong rover, which was made by the Chinese National Space Agency. It landed on Mars on May 14, 2021. However, it became inactive on May 20, 2022, and it might never reawaken. And that's the end of the video. Bye, see you next time.